It's a croc day kind of day, boys. Hopefully by the intro you guys have figured out what we're doing. We are working on the Legacy GT today. It doesn't need any work done on the exhaust. It's kind of a countdown of when I'm gonna have to work on it. So about a month or two ago, I ended up trying to make the Legacy a little bit louder by gutting the muffler. Did that, really didn't do much. It was a ton of work, and when I was doing it, I saw just how rotted the mufflers were. I have my stock 2018 STi Catback there. I figured, why don't we just throw it into the Legacy? So I know it's been done. It doesn't sound bad. It sounds pretty good. I just don't know how it's gonna sound on my setup because I actually have a Grimspeed catted downpipe, so I'm hoping it's gonna be a little bit louder. Also with the little rev I did in the beginning, you can hear that the car makes a bit of sound, but when you're driving around and stuff, it's kind of rattling. It's starting to fall apart. Like one of the hangers is completely rotted off. Now that being said, it is gonna require a little bit of modification from what I understand, and I'll show you it really quick. The mid-pipe, as is, this section should be okay. Shouldn't have to do anything. From my understanding, this flange right here, it's gonna have to get cut off and rotated. I don't know if it needs to be extended. I'll figure that out when I get to it. And the hangers is what we're gonna have to modify. We're gonna have to torch them and bend them. Now, I don't know how I'm gonna do that quite yet. I've thought about it, but haven't put too much thought into it. But somehow I'm gonna have to warm them up and make sure I bend them into the right place. I think the easiest way to do that is to get the ones off the car and put them side by side and just bend them until they look right. So like the STi, I have a box full of goodies. We're gonna need this. It came with the catted downpipe that I have, so I'll reuse it on this car since I'm not using it on the STi, as well as I got a couple of gaskets right here. So I ordered new gaskets. This should work for us. This came with this. I may need to get another gasket later, but this should work with that. Yeah, we may need to get one more gasket because that will work there, but I didn't consider the other side because I guess it's supposed to be a donut gasket, which I don't have. So I might have to get a donut gasket later. For now though, I should be able to bolt it up and throw a donut gasket in it when I get it. I guess the first step to this is to jack up the car. Help give an idea how rotted the exhaust was. This is the hanger for the mid-pipe. And you can see it's no longer is held on to the mid-pipe. Pretty easy to get off. I am very thankful for the previous owner oil spraying this car, because other than like right there, pretty rust-free. Obviously surface rust. The car is from 2006 and it's in Canada, but she's pretty solid. Not bad. So I have the two exhausts laid side by side. That's obviously from the Legacy GT, and that's from the 2018 STi. The flange is actually the correct orientation, which I thought for some reason it was going to be off, but it works. I don't know why. Maybe it's a different year STi where they're different compared to the GT. This mount right here on the STi is mounted on this side, whereas the GT is on this side. So I might have to cut that off. Maybe I can heat it up and bend it backwards. I don't know about that. It was like right there. It looks like it's relatively lined up. The only thing I really got to modify, I think, are the exhaust hangers. Side by side, they're pretty similar. Subaru has not really changed their setup, even if you look at the exhaust. And then the hangers being different, they're pretty much the same. I'm also sure people are wondering why I'm doing this. The reason is, one, the GT exhaust, it rattles, it is rotting out, as you can see. You can see my attempt at the muffler delete. I did notice there was a lot of rotting going on, like on the mufflers, and I just didn't see a point to continue doing that, so I figured let's just swap it. Two, this is costing me nothing. I already have the mid-pipe, might as well use it. It's that simple. We'll also be getting quad tips out of this, so I'm hoping it lines up pretty well. I think it will. Again, I've seen it done, so I think it'll fit. And three, for the life of me, I cannot find GT part outs that do axle backs. Fluke, maybe once a month I'll see one, and they usually get snagged right away. It's a lot easier or a lot more common to find a WRX or an STi part out where people are selling their axle backs. So since I have the flange from the STi now, all I got to do is heat up the hanger brackets and I could slap in any STi or WRX axle back. And it'll probably be cheaper because everyone has them for sale, whereas no one has a GT one for sale. So that's the reasons why I'm doing this. I also don't think doing this I'm gonna get much sound out of it. I might get a little bit. I know the resonator looks a little bit different. We'll see. Hopefully we do get a little bit out of it. Plan of action. I am thinking I try to heat up the hangers and just see if I can get them relatively lined up to the GT. Yeah, hopefully that goes all right. I'll admit this has been a longer process than I expected. You know, when you just got a little propane burner and just caveman tools, it takes a while. Let me go ahead, get the other one cooking and test fit the mufflers, I guess. So I know the rear bumper was never designed for quad tips. Obviously it's not wide enough for it. But I think with a little bit more modification and clearancing, we can probably get it sitting all right. And honestly, like this, I don't think it's too bad. I was just comparing the mid-pipe with the mid-pipe to the GT. My initial thought was when we had to extend this, I was correct. We're gonna have to extend it about 1 inch. It's kind of hard to see on camera. So I'm thinking about cutting it just straight up right here on that seam, just so when I weld it, it's a little cleaner, I guess. And what I'll probably do is I'll cut off a chunk from the legacy mid-pipe and weld it in. Otherwise, we might have to do a little bit more bending on the hanger brackets, when honestly, I'm not really shocked. But we will not know until I throw that mid-pipe in. It goes like this. Yeah, inch and a quarter we gotta cut. It's about 1 and a quarter inches. It's far from being perfect all the way around or straight, but considering I'm using a cutoff disc and an angle grinder, I thought I did an okay job. I just want to give you guys an idea of how bad this exhaust was. So this was the first side. As you can see, the welds are just completely gone. This is pretty much what was left of the flange all here. And this is the other side. So you can see just straight up hole there, straight up hole right here. I was given this exhaust about 1 year before I was gonna have to change it out. So I'm happy I got the 2018 STi exhaust on it. You can see my attempt at the muffler delete. Honestly, you're better off just cutting off the muffler, welding on a straight pipe, maybe a muffler if you want, calling it a day. Don't waste your time doing that. I am enjoying the look of the quad tips. I think it looks pretty spicy. I do wish they sat a little higher. I'll keep my eye out on a 2015 plus axle back, preferably something with mufflers and a single tip. I think that's what I'll do. I think that's what will fit best. Or if I find a really good quad tip line, I'll make it fit. I'll cut it up. If I gotta cut it up and make it fit, I'll make it fit. But let's go ahead, tack this in. Hopefully I can make it somewhat straight, and hopefully I can put some decent welds down this time. It's been about 1 year since you did any welding, but you show them you know something. Okay, see, something's clogging up. Is it the whip? What is it? What is it? Okay, let's go with that. This machine's weird. I don't get these settings. Usually it's like a wire feed and a voltage or amperage, and yeah, that's my settings. So this seems to be working for me. I might actually just raise the wire speed a little bit more. We'll give that a try. We'll go ahead, tack it up. That's kind of what I got. So we'll see. Let's tack her up. Hopefully that holds. I'll have to be careful taking this out. Let's pull her out, weld her up. I'm pretty happy with that. I think it's straight here. It's hard to tell. It looks okay. So I've let it cool down now. I can actually touch it. This side where the gap was pretty tight, I managed to get actually some decent welds. I'm pretty happy with that. But obviously the other side where there was giant holes, I was tacking it and it was just making a mess. I'm also still gonna blame the equipment. I'm gonna blame the wire feeder not tensioning correctly. But you know what? We're considering this was, I think, a $250 welder. I'm happy with that. So we're good to throw it in. I went ahead, pulled out all the gaskets. We got these two on the rear. I have the multi-layer one from Cobb when I got my downpipe for the front, so that's gonna all go in. I'm also hoping we get a little bit of sound out of this. I'm really not gonna expect much sound at all, to be honest, but if we got a little bit, I'd be happy. And hopefully in the future, maybe not do a muffler delete, but do something that's a more high flow muffler for the rear. I think she needs it. Let's get her in. Say we turn her on and see what she sounds like. I hope it has a little bit of sound. All right, let's get this first start. I think she's gonna sound exactly the same, maybe a little louder, but I really don't have high hopes, but let's see. Does it sound louder? I don't think so. I don't think so either. Nah, it's not louder. No, I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be louder. I do think it sounds better though. It doesn't sound as like there's crap just flying around the muffler. So I like it already. I think it does sound a little better. Oh, it sounds better. It sounds better. Here, just listen to this. Yeah, it's way better and it is louder. Just like enough, like it's good. I wish, you know, I love loud. I wouldn't hate it being louder. Obviously the STi, it's straight piped after the downpipe, but I'm happy with this. I think it turned out pretty well. Oh, there's, nice. I just did a quick test and for exhaust leaks, that's what I did test for. The mid pipe to the downpipe, not leaking whatsoever. The original donut is actually working perfectly fine. The issue, which is I've had issues in the past with all my cars, is the 2-bolt flange on the muffler. I can never get those to seal properly and not leak. I don't know what it is. I've cranked them, I've loosened them, I've done pretty much everything, and I can't get it to not leak. The STi leaks, this car leaks, and I'm just gonna accept it and let it leak just because, like I said, I don't know how to fix it. Anyone knows how to adjust it or what I should do to make it not leak, let me know, because I've tried a few things, never had luck. But I'm actually really happy with how she sounds, how it turned out, and how the welder performed. I think it did pretty well this time around. And rather than having to spend a bunch of money, you know, upgrade to a new exhaust or a louder exhaust, which is obviously I'd prefer to do, but this is my beater, so I have to be good. We repurposed an exhaust. I think it looks really good too. I'm feeling the quads. I'm a little close to the car, so I can't get a good angle, but I think it looks pretty good. But yeah, let me know if you guys enjoy this, or if you have any questions or issues or anything I needed to do that I didn't show, which I think I showed everything, but either way, if you have any questions, feel free to leave it down below. And if you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. We passed 1,000 subs. Pretty happy about that. Let's just keep growing. Take it easy, guys. Okay, so I've been driving the car now for about a week, I want to say, and I actually really like the exhaust. I like it a lot more than I expected. So let me turn it on. It's not exactly a cold start. It's a little warmed up. We were driving like, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes ago. Right now, you could probably not even hear it. You're probably hearing the AC. A little bit of rumble, but nothing crazy. Just some good rumbles. But I really want you guys to hear me do a drive-by. So I'm gonna get Dawn to help me out and hold the camera. All right, so for anyone that's wondering, this is a 2018 STi Catback with a Grim Speed catted down pipe and a parent up pipe. And you can tell it's really not that loud.
It might be wind.
Yeah, it might just be
wind. They have the windbreaker, but I don't know.
But let me slow her down again so you guys can hear from a stop. Okay, honestly, it's not that loud. If you're looking for something that's more of like a nice daily driver, this is like a pretty good way to go. In my opinion, all I really hear is engine and intake noise, my honest opinion. But we're gonna drop Dawn off. Let's say right here.
Right by the people?
Right by the people.
Okay, well, while he does that, here's a tour of some weeds.
How's it sound?
Great.
Does it sound like rumbly?